Hello and welcome. We hope you are here today because your district is interested in applying for the Teacher Incentive Allotment. This webinar offers a quick introduction to the goals and components of a local designation system. Our objectives for this session are intended to set you and your district up to understand the basic goals and impact of TIA. After reviewing the goals, we will then ensure that your district can identify the key components of a local designation system, which will prepare you for designing and applying for a local designation system in the spring. Our vision for the Teacher Incentive Allotment revolves around supporting districts to build and sustain strategic compensation systems so that these systems will in turn incentivize great teachers to stay in the classroom, support more robust recruitment for your district, and overall reward our teachers and make the profession as a whole more desirable. The Teacher Incentive Allotment is different from past programs such as TEAG, GEAG, DATE, and Career Ladders. Most importantly, TIA is funded by adequate and sustainable funding from the legislature through the Foundation School Program. Each system must include multiple measures to ensure that designations issued by one district hold the same weight as designations issued by another district. TIA is also different in that it is available for all teachers and encourages professional collaboration rather than competition. Through a focus on inter-rater reliability, multi-measure evaluations, and the availability for all teachers to participate, this program aims to increase teacher recruitment and retention rates. At this point, we have reviewed the goals of TIA. Now let's discuss how the Teacher Incentive Allotment works. TIA established 3 levels of designations, which are distinctions awarded to effective teachers. Districts receive annual allotment funds between $3,000 and $32,000 for each designated teacher. The allotment generated per teacher depends on the level of designation and campus status. At least 90% of the generated funds must go to teacher compensation on the designated teacher's campus. District-issued designations are valid for 5 years, regardless of teaching assignment, campus, or district. There are 2 different pathways for teachers to earn designations. The major pathway to earn a designation is through a local designation system. This is a district-created system that is reviewed and approved by TEA. An alternate designation pathway is through national board certification. Teachers with a national board certification will be awarded a recognized designation by TEA and generate funds for their district. This pathway does not require districts to have a local designation system. Districts that employ a designated teacher will receive annual funding based on each teacher's level of designation and campus of employment. On this slide, you can see the range that can be expected with each designation level based on a funding formula. Variations within each designation level are based on high needs and rural status. In the 2023-24 year, the Teacher Incentive Allotment awarded over $292 million, increased the number of designated teachers to 26,000, and increased the number of districts receiving funds to 542. We are excited to see how these numbers continue to grow in the 2024-25 year. Now that we have reviewed the goals and major components of the Teacher Incentive Allotment, let's dive into the process of developing and applying for a local designation system. For districts to award designations to teachers, there are 2 phases of review and approval spanning 3 school years. The first is to submit a local designation system application to TEA. The TIA team will then review the application and either accept or deny the application. Once accepted, the district enters a data capture year and prepares for data validation. Following the data capture year, districts submit teacher performance data to TTU for validation, along with proposed designations. After validation, TEA issues a final system approval and awards teacher designations. We currently have 597 unique districts with accepted system applications. In spring 2024, TEA received 121 new TIA applications for a local designation system. 98% of those district applications were accepted, and those districts are now beginning their first year of implementation. Developing a local designation system requires significant stakeholder engagement around three major decisions. First is which teachers will be eligible to earn a designation. Districts may include all teachers or limit to certain teaching assignments and campuses. Districts have an annual window to expand their system if they decide to include new teaching assignments in future years. Next, districts must determine how they will designate teachers using performance data along with statewide performance standards. Decisions 1 and 2 are often made in tandem, as the capacity to implement certain student growth measures may dictate which teachers the district decides to include. Finally, districts must decide how they will spend the TIA funds. The application and approval process spans 3 full school years. For spring 2025 applicants, this timeline lays out approximately where you will be in each coming year. In the pre-application phase, which you have already done or currently in, the district will be engaging with stakeholders such as community members, the school board, and most importantly, teachers, to develop their local designation system and make critical decisions. Districts will submit their completed application to the TIA team at TEA this spring. After the district application is accepted, the district will also submit a list of teacher names and emails to Texas Tech University for the teacher buy-in survey in early August 2025. This is also when the district will enter their data capture year. During the data capture year, districts implement their local designation system and collect teacher performance data in accordance with their system application. Following the data capture year, districts submit the prior year's teacher performance data and proposed designations to Texas Tech University for data validation. TEA then reviews data validation results and determines final system approval. Other components, such as the annual program submission and evaluation surveys, will be covered once the district system is fully approved. Here are the main statutory components districts will dive into as they develop their local designation system and complete the system application. District systems must outline how they will gather valid and reliable performance data to determine which teachers qualify for designation and how they will spend the allotment funds. The system application has statutory components related to teacher observation, student growth, and spending. Throughout the year, the TIA team hosts technical assistance webinars that dive deeper into each of the required components. Districts may also include non-statutory optional components when determining designations and spending plans, such as mentoring, family surveys, or teacher leadership. For teacher observation, any rubric can be used as long as it is approved by TEA. Danielson, Marzano, NIET TAP, and T-TEST are all commonly used teacher observation rubrics that are pre-approved for all systems. Districts are welcome to create their own observation rubric. However, it must align to statute and crosswalk with all the components of T-TEST. It is important to note when creating your local designation system, all teachers in eligible teaching assignments must have a formal appraisal for the data capture year, which for new applicants is 2025-2026. Teacher observation data used for TIA must be aligned to a formal appraisal process. When we talk about appraisal, we are talking about the process. When we talk about teacher observation, we're talking about the specific observable domains and what data will be used to determine teacher designations. Districts will gather and report dimension-level data in these domains for TIA. There are 4 types of student growth that can be collected for TIA, which are listed here. Districts can select from value-added measures, also known as VAM, pre- and post-tests, student learning objectives, or portfolios. The important item to note for the student growth measure is that the district application must show evidence of validity and reliability in the development, administration, and scoring of whatever student growth measures are chosen. Each student growth measure will be covered in depth throughout this coming year by our TIA team. As districts outline decisions around eligible assignments, teacher observation, and student growth, they should be aware of the statewide performance standards. TEA established statewide performance standards to serve as a guide for determining designations and cut points. At a statewide level, a recognized designation represents the top 33% of teachers, exemplary the top 20%, and masters the top 5%. We use these percentiles to determine the performance standards. However, your district will designate based on the number of teachers who meet the district's effectiveness bar. Districts must define their own performance standards and cut points for each level of designation, which may vary for different groups of teaching assignments. The only statutory requirement is that all designated teachers must be at least proficient on all observable dimensions. Once the district is approved to issue designations, they will begin receiving annual allotment funds. For spending, at least 90% must go to student-facing instructional staff. The remaining 10% can go towards implementing the system or helping to support teachers in earning a designation. All TIA money must be spent by August 31st each year. We encourage you to join us for our spending webinars this year to get more in-depth training on spending requirements. This year's Technical Assistance webinar series for new application districts will primarily focus on understanding the components of TIA, making system decisions, and preparing to apply this coming spring. If you do not have our Technical Assistance calendar, please reach out to the inbox, which is tia@tea.texas.gov. Our inbox is also available for you all throughout the year to submit questions, so feel free to reach out. We also offer open office hours to all districts every other week where members of our TIA team will be available for the entire hour to answer any questions you may have. More information, including dates, times, and the link, can be found on our Technical Assistance calendar. Our website is also a wonderful resource and contains the resources that we have created to help guide districts through the application process. The TIA readiness to build and apply for a local designation system will be introduced in our September 4th TA session, Building a Local Designation System. Finally, the TIA Guidebook is a wonderful resource for districts on the entire TIA program. Thank you so much for watching this quick webinar. If you're an application in your district, please plan to attend our TA session called Building a Local Designation System that is scheduled for Wednesday, September 4th at 9:30 a.m. Our team will be reviewing the TIA application process, the TIA planning guide, and key milestones in your application year.